section 481056. We're in Ochiltree County, just south of Perryton, Texas, on US 83. You can see all the signs are present. There's the back of our sharp sign, the traffic monitoring installation. The loops are out there. Rolling hills out here. I think all the delineators are present with the exception of one at the end of this test section. We did go ahead and touch up all the paint markings. This section does have a fair amount of cracking. See, we've got occasional transverse crack running through it, low severity. Section. I originally thought it ended right at about station 200, but once I got up there, you'll see that there's also some there. So it's about a foot and a half along the outside wheel path for a total of about 750 feet. Showing some of the transverse cracks we got here. Some of these do not really run the entire width of the section. They only run about halfway, some of them even less, but several of them do go the entire length of this, or entire width of the section. Does have a seal coat on it. I was told that shortly after we picked this test section that it had been strip sealed. However, it's fairly obvious just from looking at it that it has not. It's going to require a little bit further study just to figure out what all happened there. I suppose it isn't too much of a challenge. We'll just disregard that information because we've looked at all the test sections here and it wasn't a case of just mixing one section with another. None of them have been strip sealed. We just have to pull that information from the files. Nonetheless, it is fairly curious. May have generated that particular confusion. We have a little bit of a longitudinal crack that kind of wanders into the test section. We start getting a little bit of longitudinal cracking here in between some of these transverse cracks. Station 3. I was not able to measure rutting at this particular test section. Didn't have the 4-foot straight edge, but you can see there's really not much rutting to speak about here. Not a heck of a lot of traffic. As I mentioned earlier, the bleed bleeding does go all the way back through the section, about 1.5 feet wide, as I mentioned earlier. Got a small area here where it looks like somebody had a blowout, scraped up some of the seal coat. Another area here with some longitudinal cracking. Again, this is US 83 in Ochiltree County. We're about 10 or 15 miles south of Perryton, Texas. We're in the southbound lanes. Back down over the section, you can see the bleeding is a little bit more evident. All depends on your perspective, where you're standing from and looking towards. But there is about that same amount of bleeding throughout the test section. This then concludes the video for section 481056 on US 83 in Ochiltree